stop those, his associates, from doing whatever it is that they choose to do? How come it seems no one is taking him at his word?
Well, what is stated for me is what we call looking at it from a legal perspective. They have a right to associate. Anybody has any right to associate. But we all know that there's no smoke without fire, or rather there's no fire without smoke somehow. So at the end of the day, if you say, yeah, these are my associates and they've gone ahead to form the PDM, I am still a member of PDP, people draw the connection and they tell you, you know what, this is Atiku's joker. You know, this party is just there, just in case, and we are very malleable to anybody, even the PDP. You know, the PDM can be very malleable to the PDP.
Okay, let's take a quick break. We'll return in just a moment and take a look at some more comments when we return.
If you want to know what's trending or you miss your favorite live shows, you can watch it all on our YouTube channel. Simply log on to www.youtube.com/channelsweb. Scroll down to your favorite program and click play. You can also view all uploaded videos by clicking on View All. Don't forget to subscribe and get the latest videos. If they are interesting, like them and be heard. Get connected with the Channels Television YouTube page. The news at your fingertips.
Welcome back. Well, what does the emergence of People's Democratic Movement and the Independent Democrats bring to the political table? Will it change anything, or will it be same of the same? Well, Anthony Nyohana is still here with us. He's a legal practitioner and an analyst. You know, they say change, that yes, it's the only constant thing in life, and they also say people resist change. How would that adjective fit in this circumstance where you've got new APC, you have PDM, you have Independent Democrats? Do you think Nigerians think that, look, okay, a change perhaps will suffice at this stage, or will they just sit back and let's see how things play out first before we stick our neck out?
Okay. Truly, Nigerians are looking for change. We are all yearning for change. We want change in our government. We want to see a better government. But the platform that we need for the change has not emerged yet.
Really?
Yes. With the coming of the APC, the PDM, the Independent Democrats, and of course the PDP that has been in power for the past 14 years, we still don't have the right platform for the type of change that Nigeria needs.
What would be the right platform in this case?
Now, the right platform is a platform that recognizes first and foremost that the Constitution of Nigeria as it is needs to be rewritten. Wow. Any platform that says, hold on, do you know what? We need to ensure true federalism in Nigeria. We need to allow power be in the hands of the federating units of Nigeria. We need to restructure this country along federal units, not the present 36 states that we have. Probably by the time you look at probably to be just 6 federating units, or it could be 8, it could be 10, but along those lines, and allow the power in the center to be weakened. That is, the federal government needs to be extremely weakened. So any party or any platform that is not putting that at the forefront of what it's doing, it is not the right platform. Because in law, we used to say that you cannot build something on nothing and expect it to stand. The present constitution we have cannot ground the type of development that we want to see in Nigeria.
Will that be the basis? Because, pardon me for butting in, because, I mean, it's people who will operate this rewritten or new constitution if it were to happen.
Yeah.
Shouldn't we look at that first, or get it rewritten first, and you think that that will eventually change the way of the people who will operate?
Now, government must continue to run. What we are saying is, because of the fact that we know that we cannot say, okay, hold on, let government be at the standstill while we draft a new constitution or we amend the present constitution, the people who wish to continue to be in government, for government to continue to run, must begin to tell those who will put them in government that our major aim of going into government is to bring about a new constitution that is standing on a true federal position, that is encompassing true federalism that wants Nigerians to have the rights given to them under Chapter 4 of the Constitution. I mean, just imagine where we are. Imagine the country we live in today. A country where you don't, though the Constitution says you have a right of freedom of movement, but where you yourself will be scared to go to some parts of Nigeria or to even live there or to found any business there. A country where governments at will, state governments at will, are deporting people, in quotes, without any legal backing. And people think it's okay. And in fact, some people have come to spew what I call hate speech, trying to support things that are purely illegal. By what law are governments in Nigeria, state governments in Nigeria, deporting Nigerian citizens? We understand that these people are handicapped. We understand that they are poor. We understand that they live on the streets. But wouldn't the government ask themselves the question, hey, hold on, how come these people are the way they are? Can we do something about them? It is like, okay, just take it and dump them over the other side. This country has given every citizen the right to freedom of movement. You can live anywhere you like in this country. You can found a business anywhere you like in this country. But where governments blindly go against the law or do things that are illegal, then we begin to ask ourselves the question, hold on, if you are telling me you are APC, you are PDM, you are Independent Democrats, and you want to take the space, I will ask you, what do you want to do about the structure of Nigeria? Because the present structure is not working. And until we realize that fact, we cannot move forward.
Can I quickly ask you, does it worry you that, you know, INEC has registered a host of parties in the last 1 month, thereabout? You know, does it worry you? Because just before now, INEC has also deregistered, I mean, even though that is also being contested in court, they had deregistered some parties for not even having won a councillorship election. Yeah. We seem to be discussing all of the emergence of all of these parties because we know that what is at stake is the party at the position at the national level, the presidency. And for them, it's preparations towards 2015. Does it not worry you that it doesn't seem like these parties, these new emerging parties, some of them, have no roots, so to speak? You know, I mean, Chimney was talking about, you know, was it Chimney was talking about?
It's truly a source of concern.
Yeah.
It's a source of concern that a good number of these new parties have not found their footing yet. They don't have deep roots. But in a democracy and by our laws, they are allowed to associate. In as much as they are associating and they are not doing anything illegal, it was actually wrong for INEC to be deregistering parties. And I'm happy that the Federal High Court in Abuja, in the case of the Fresh Democratic Party, took the bold step to reverse that. Of course, INEC has said they are going to appeal that. Let's see how it will turn out. But the truth of the matter is that as part of the fundamental rights of every Nigerian, you have a right to association. You have a right to form political parties. Whether or not you have deep roots or not is a different issue. Over time, I believe, political parties who cannot find their footings will die natural deaths. They will fizzle out. But it's not for INEC to say, you know what, because you're not winning elections, then we have to, you have to go. We have to scrap you.
What if they were funding them? You think they won't say anything about it?
Now, that raises the question, why should INEC be funding a political party?
Because it may give some an advantage. If you're a ruling party at any level, of course, you have access to the purse. And so you have advantage over those who don't. Perhaps.
Personally, I do not think it is proper for INEC to fund political parties.
How do you balance that scenario then?
Which one?
The one that if you're a ruling party at any level, you have an advantage over a party that doesn't. Good. So how will those who don't have access to funds compete?
They go back to the people. If the people want you, the people should fund your campaign.
Really?
That's my belief. And the reason why I say this is this. You see, government should not be seen encouraging the Father Christmas kind of attitude. If people say they have a right to associate as a political party and they have associated, why do they need to rely on the government for funding?
Isn't it interesting? I mean, if some people would always...
The people should be able to... I mean, you are coming for a service.
Yes.
You know, you want to serve Nigerians. Then the Nigerians who believe in you should be able to fund you and fund your campaign.
Some people will say that then, you know, you're being too idealistic in terms of you're not putting into consideration the political environment in which it's operated. Because, I mean, several times I've had cause to interview 1 or 2 people who would tell you that, well, they were on emerging political parties or they were almost so to speak, independent candidates almost, because they have the parties, but they are basically on their own. And, you know, when they go to people to campaign, even on the little results that they have, the people are there expecting them to give